Hi everybody, thanks for checking out this video. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this little blue Stratocaster type object that I have here. I say type object because it's not actually a Strat. It's the cheapest electric guitar you can buy on Amazon. I think it costs between sort of 50 and 80 quid, what with delivery and whatnot. And I'm going to talk specifically about one of the modifications I've made to it, which is the out of phase modification. But just to give you an idea of how this is being recorded, I've got, I don't know if you can see it there, little Vox amp behind me. It's an MV50AC, which is just out of shot. I'm just going to try and move it so that, there you go. That's what I'm using to record this. I'm not using the cab, although I am, so that I can hear it, but I'm actually recording it using the emulated cab output of the AC50 MV. So it's it's giving it an emulated output sound. Just to give you an idea of the actual modifications that I've made to this thing. This guitar, when it came, it had got a different nut on it, so I replaced the nut with, I think it was one we took off a Strat from, that we replaced with something else. So I've replaced that because the nut was no good that came with it. It needed intonating and it needed the action set in, but once that was done, it was okay. The neck is pretty nice actually. There are no sort of sharp edges. Down the edges here. It was straight. I don't think I had to. I say straight. It didn't need any truss rod adjustment. It was, it got just a little bit of relief in it, which was nice. It wasn't, when I say it was straight, it wasn't bent like a banana. The only other differences that I've made to this is change the 5-way selector, which again was, I think, one that we took off a Strat to replace it with something else, because the one that came with it was useless, so we put a better 5-way selector in it. A couple of push-pull pots, which I'll demonstrate in a minute, and I've shielded the inside as well, because it was very, very noisy. And if I turn it up now, you can still hear some buzz when I turn it up, but it's nowhere near as bad as it was. It was proper, like, it sounded like an old fridge. So that helped. The only other changes that I would want to make, I think, going forward would be to do something with the bridge block, because you can see it's a dirt cheap guitar, so it's the trem block rather, it's incredibly shaved down to next to nothing. I'd probably put a new bridge on it, largely because in trying to intonate the thing, I wrecked most of the screws. You probably can't see that, but most of the screws are now knackered along the bottom, and these are very abrasive. The grub screws. So when you sort of got your hand anywhere near the bridge, it's rather uncomfortable. The pickups are ceramic magnet pickups. They are, the cheapest possible pickups you could get. I did see a video on YouTube, which I will try and link in the description, which showed you how you can turn ceramic pickups into Alnico pickups, and it looked relatively straightforward. I say it looked straightforward because, I'm a complete novice, so I know enough to ruin a guitar. So I thought, I don't know, I might have a go at trying to change them into Alnico pickups one day, but as for the time being, just take it as read, these pickups are, to use the technical term, garbage. But all of that being said, I don't think it sounds too bad. So just to give you an idea of what this thing sounds like, this is on the bridge pickup here. Okay, so and this is just going through the AC50, the MV50AC, and the gain is on full. The tone is just after 12, and the volume is on about 9 o'clock because that thing is deafening and I don't want my neighbours to complain. So this is what it sounds like just on its own. So, you get an idea of what it sounds like. I should also point out as well, the only other modification I made to this is I put a treble bleed on the volume pot, and that was put together by, I used a 20 kilovolt 1000 PF capacitor wired in series with a 100 kilo ohm 1 watt resistor. And I hope that makes sense to somebody. I did a little bit of research, and it suggested that that combination of capacitor and resistor would do what I wanted it to do if I wired it in series, and you know, it sounded okay. But again, just to give you an idea of what that sounds like, I'll just quickly go through and show you, and I'll sort of let you know, you know, the volume settings as we go. So that's up full. Now if I turn it down to 8. And now down to 6. And now down to 4. And then finally, pretty much as low as it'll go, around to like 1, maybe 2. So, you know, it kind of retains its clarity and stuff as you go down, which originally it very much didn't. The minute you went anywhere past sort of 7 or 8, you know, downwards, it just became incredibly warm and it lacked a lot of clarity and stuff. So at least with that little treble bleed circuit added onto the volume pot, it does actually, you know, clean a lot of it up. Anyway, I'm going to move on now to talk about the out of phase setting, and the only setting this applies to is this one here. Okay, so not the neck pickup, but this one with these two on together. Now, as it stands at the moment, these two are wired in parallel. I have also wired this using this bottom pull push selector so that we can wire these in series, because I'm a Brian May fan, and that's how he has his Red Special guitar wired up, so I wanted to do it with this. But the other thing that I did, which again is based on Brian May, is to have this wired so that you could do it out of phase. And somebody had commented on one of my other videos where I was demoing this guitar, just to see what it would sound like with the out of phase setting, just through a normal amp, you know, without going through, I had it through a Brian May pedal before, but just through a normal amp. So what I'll do is I'll play the thing with it in phase as it is now, so the standard wiring, and then I'll pull the pot and you can hear what it sounds like with the out of phase setting. Okay, so here goes. I mean, I don't know if Sweet Home Alabama was done with an out of phase. Neck and middle pickup, probably not, and it was probably played correctly, unlike how I just played it just then. But you know, it gives you an idea of what this thing sounds like. You know, I wanted it for one sort of specific purpose, which is that, you know, if I take this one and so have these wired in series now, you know, I can do a very specific guitar solo or a couple of solos with this. Because, you know, when you get it out of phase and in series, you know, it really does kind of scream, particularly in the higher register. But yeah, you know, that's what it sounds like just in the standard tuning. Standard wiring, sorry, not standard tuning. I mean, it is in standard tuning, but it's standard wiring that I'm talking about. And it was a relatively simple mod. There are diagrams online to show you how to do it. You could also do this instead of a push-pull pot. We just happen to have some lying around, which is why we used them. But you could also do it with just a switch, you know, a 3-pole switch if you wanted to. That would work. Otherwise, I hope this video was useful and you know, sort of informative and helpful. I will put time codes in the description below, so you don't have to listen to hours and hours of me talking and wittering, and you can just get to the sound comparison. So hopefully that will be helpful. Thanks for checking this out. I'll see you again next time. See you later.